Callington is an Australian company that produces chemical specialty products across 6 continents. With Chennai being the heartland for Indian manufacturing, particularly in the aviation and automotive sectors, Callington naturally decided to head their Indian operations here. I spoke to their regional manager for India and Qatar. So welcome to the Airport Economist.
Thank you, Professor.
Now tell me about Callington. What's its history? What products do you make? Tell us a bit about Callington.
The history of Callington goes back to 1968 when Nick Shulal, who is the current managing director of the whole group, he was 19 then, and he decided that he needs to do something quite dramatic in his life. So at the age of 19, he decided that he needs to mix some chemicals. He didn't find space, so he went to his father's garage. He took a few chemicals, he mixed it together, and he prepared a product. And that was the start of Callington. Now, 56 years later, I think we've done remarkably well as a group and as an organization. We started off with fuel additives. That was Nick's passion. Even today, it remains his passion. But over time, we evolved. He evolved, and he started growing the company. His first big success came in Hong Kong, where he had a lot of success. On that success, he started riding the wave, and he said, okay, I think I can do much more. And that's when he started growing the business. Somewhere in the 1980s, he also got together and he thought, why not get into the subject of biosecurity, border biosecurity. And that's where the whole journey took off for Callington as a group. Because that as a subject is a very, very important subject, not only for Australia, but also for the whole world. And thanks to Nick's efforts over the years, we are now pioneers in this whole field of aircraft disinfection. Nick decided at some point in time in the 1980s that aviation and aerospace is where the future is, and put in all his efforts over there. In 2024, we now have 15 subsidiaries across the world. We have 5 manufacturing locations, close to 160 employees, each very, very passionate about what they're supposed to do, with the final objective of making Callington a global force in the space of aircraft disinfection and aircraft maintenance.
So if I go on an aeroplane in India as the airport economist, where do I find Callington's products on the plane?
Callington's products would be quite discreet. You may not be able to see each one of them on the aircraft, but the moment you enter an aircraft, the fragrance which hits you first as you enter the aircraft is ours. We work with all the airlines in India, and we provide the air fresheners which are used and sprayed on board before passengers come, as well as we provide a lot of the products which are used to keep the aircraft clean inside. Like the tray tables, the armrests, the overhead bins, all of them are cleaned with Callington products. When you go into the washroom, you will find soap, you will find maybe a couple of other products which are there inside the washroom just to keep it healthy and hygienic. There also you will find Callington's presence.
So I can't see it, but I can smell it.
Absolutely.
Okay. So you work with all the airlines in India, and you also look after Qatar as well. How does that work?
Qatar is the world's only 5-star airline. They're the world's #1 airline. And my relationship and association with them goes back 5 years now. And over the last 5 years, it's been a privilege and an honor to work with the team there. We've done a lot of work together, and also the fact remains that Qatar is a very, very demanding customer, and we are very happy that we have met the very, very stringent requirements of an airline like Qatar Airways.
So Callington would, say it's Australian end, would look after Australian Airlines, and you look after India and Qatar?
Yes, Airways. I look after India, Qatar, and a few of the countries like Nepal, Maldives, and all these countries around you. Yeah.
Now you've worked for French and Swiss and Japanese companies in your career. What's it like working for an Australian company?
It was a bit of a challenge initially, but I would say that the challenge was more in terms of understanding the accent rather than anything else.
Oh really?
Yeah.
You understand my accent?
Other than that, everything was fine because Nick made it very, very comfortable for me when I joined. He gave me all the support required. And it was a very, very smooth onboarding, as you would say. And since then, I think we've had a wonderful relationship with each and every employee in the group. I work with most of the employees in the group, so it's been a wonderful experience. 8 years now.
And I'm interested in Chennai. So there are Australian companies here. There are startups like yourselves.
Yes.
So you work closely with the Australian Consul General in Austrade?
Yes, very, very closely with the Consul General as well as Austrade, both of them. I would actually put it on record that both of them have really helped us grow, and they've really connected us very well. So I would always be very thankful to both the Consul General as well as Austrade for helping us reach where we are today.
India can be a bit overwhelming at times with its massive cities. Places like Mumbai, New Delhi, Bengaluru and Chennai are enormous economies in their own right, teeming with humanity. But don't worry, here at the Airport Economist we talk to our friends at the Hyatt about where to stay and how to do business. I called up with the General Manager of the Park Hyatt Chennai for his tips on how to get around this amazing city. Now, you've got a very beautiful hotel. Can you describe to me some of the facilities you've got here at the Park Hyatt, the restaurant and so on?
Park Hyatt Chennai, it's 12 years now that this hotel is operational. Park Hyatt as a concept is like you're coming into my home. Park Hyatt as a concept believes in fine food, fine art and fine people to run the operations. And we are only 52 hotels across the world. Park Hyatt is a brand. Luxury is understated here, so we call it's understated luxury. Luxury is personal. We don't promote that much because we want word of mouth to work on. It's a 200 key hotel. We have 200 rooms ranging from standard room to the presidential suite. And in Park Hyatt Chennai, you will see 3 restaurants. One is called as the Park Brasserie, which is our all-day dining restaurant. Then you go step out an outdoor venue, which is called as Mr. Ong. Mr. Ong is a Singaporean and Malay style street food venue. Very bustling, a lot of noise from the walk which comes out. Like you feel that you're sitting outside on a street, of course in a 5-star environment. And then we have Flying Elephant, and I prefer to call it as a well-managed chaos. It's a place which is not a restaurant. It's an experience in itself. It's a combination of the best of the food, best of the beverage, best of the entertainment. Because if you go to a typical restaurant, you only talk about food. But when you walk into Flying Elephant, starting at the entrance, how are you greeted? How is the team member working in that place? How are they explaining the food? The music is right. We do not serve anything which is not experimental.
Now I was going to ask you, I know Chennai is a very busy place for business, but if you have a 1 day off or 3 days off, what should I do if I'm in Chennai?
Oh, so if you have a 1 day off, you can go around in Chennai. It's a beautiful city. There are beautiful monuments, there are museums. And Chennai is a very culturally rich city. So you will see a lot of theaters which are happening. Now if you have, say, 2 days or 3 days, drive down to Pondicherry, one of the most beautiful places. It used to be a French colony once upon a time. The French quarters are amazing. You should spend a night there. And there, just before that, there's something called as Auroville. Auroville is by Sir Aurobindo. It's an Aurobindo ashram, and it has a meditation center which looks like a golf ball. It's huge. You can listen to your own breath. So that's something which is very, very nice. It's in the middle of a jungle.
Now, India's a fascinating place, but can be quite overwhelming for foreigners. Are there simple greetings or customs that a foreign business person should know coming to India?
See, India is very versatile. If you go to the north, there's a different style of greeting. If you go to south, there's a different kind of greeting, same as east and west. And they're all very, very individualistic in their own approach. In south of India also, if you go to Bangalore, you have a different greeting. If you come to Chennai, it's a different greeting. So as a foreigner, when they come in, even a simple namaste is very, very well known across India.
I've noticed a lot of infrastructure ongoing in Chennai. Now, just a few practical questions. If I'm coming to Chennai, How do I get from the airport to the hotel? How do I get around? Do I take Uber, taxi? What would your advice be?
So there are multiple options. When you come at the airport, like any other city, you have to walk a little bit to go to the parking lot. The government has recently opened a multi-level parking. So the cars, if they are taxis, you are not allowed to bring them to the arrival terminal. You have to walk to that place. But airport authorities have done walkolators and these golf buggies. You go to that place. Taxi is one of the options for sure, and you get Uber, you get Ola, you get the local taxis, and government-run taxis as well. But very easy is the metro. You get directly the metro from the airport, and it goes around the city.
Should you carry cash in Chennai, or is it all Apple Pay or?
Trust me, Apple Pay is still not applicable in India, but if you ask me how much cash I have in my pocket right now, zero. I only work with, we call it UPI, which is basically like an Apple Pay, and we have multiple channels. So we have Google Pay, we have Paytm, we have Phone Pay. So there are multiple options available. And slowly and gradually people are going away from cash and using these. So if you walk around a small tea shop outside or a vegetable vendor, you can pay through UPI, because I believe the government has put it so easy for everyone to open a bank account, and it goes directly to the bank account. There is no delay in terms of the transferring of the funds.
So what do we learn from our visit to India? Well, India can be intimidating. After all, it has 1.4 billion souls across 29 diverse states, and with 640 million people based in their massive teeming cities. But don't be intimidated. India has a parliamentary federal system with familiar institutions and legal framework. Many of its citizens are young, well-educated, English-speaking and tech-savvy. They are rightly proud of their nation's achievements, but also interested in the world and foreign cultures and influences. As a confident modern nation, India is not scared to take a look at trends beyond their shores. Here's just a few simple tips about doing business in India. India is an amazing diverse place, so you have to pick your starting point based on your industry speciality. For instance, in finance or films, go to Mumbai, where Bollywood is. In government, go to New Delhi. If in space, IT or aviation, Bengaluru. For manufacturing, Chennai, and so on. For those interested in trading or investing in India, the Ministry of Commerce and Industry is a key contact. It promotes international trade and investment through several organisations, including Invest India, which serves as a facilitator for investments and trade growth, working with foreign investors and providing support throughout their business lifecycle. Talk to the Australian High Commission in New Delhi or Consul Generals in places like Bengaluru and Chennai. And also, ask your state agency like Queensland. They can help you out if you find yourself on a sticky wicket. And enjoy the culture, and do talk cricket. It's a great icebreaker. So catch a test match or the colour and excitement of an IPL game. If you can, it's an amazing experience. Well, that's it for the India episode of The Airport Economist. I do hope you'll visit this amazing country when you get the opportunity. India has amazing charisma, and you just want to keep coming back. See you on our next business adventure together somewhere around the great globe. I'm Tim Harcourt, and I'm The Airport Economist.